Welcome. It is the Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 323, and it is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
Getting ready for some skiing, working out, just trying to get ready for the season.
There you go. And one way to get fired up for the season is to watch a bunch of kick-ass ski and snowboard movies. And That is exactly what we are going to do in the main topic today. We're not going to, we're going to talk, but we're mostly just going to watch a bunch of stuff and comment. And actually, that would be a really weird episode if we just watched it. Because that would be a lot of silence. Because I don't know, in terms of copyright or anything, we couldn't actually, show it. But
yeah, that's kind of weird. Just us
it'd be
and
very
our
weird.
reaction and yeah.
But yeah, we're going to list a bunch of them. There's always so many of them, and it's really hard to. It would be really tough to make a list of every single one. But we got about 10 of them.
Let's talk about them. Yeah.
10 of them that we saw in our travels through YouTube. That it's funny. I was on YouTube editing the last episode of the podcast. I've been watching some sports, and I just wanted to put something chill on. And usually I put on coffee house jazz. That's one of my. They'll have seasonal backgrounds, and it'll have chill kind of in the background music. So these days they'll show a fireplace and maybe a window, some snow falling, and playing some just benign jazzy kind of music. In the summertime they'll show beach and make that chill. I was looking for that, and then I saw a bunch of really cool ski movies that I had saved, or just knew that my profile was my man, this is what you're gonna want to watch. So I ended up being up till 1 a.m. watching ski movies while editing the podcast. So it was a lot of fun, and wanted to share some of those with all of you. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We're on the socials, X, Instagram, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube at Ski Bum Podcast. Do you want to support the show? You want to help us out? Patreon.com/Ski Bum Podcast. We're going to have that mega tier, the $100 a month one. We know you got $100 a month burning a hole in your pocket. Become a producer of the show. You can do it at that level.
Yeah.
We're also updating the other tiers this week. So Cyber Week, everyone's starting Black Friday way too soon. We're still slacking it. Cyber Week, we're going to have all those tiers fixed up with the actual rewards in there. So please check it out. Patreon.com/Ski Bum Podcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Do you need stickers for the season?
Oh, we got stickers.
Everybody needs stickers. So check this out. We got the updated one because it used to say highfalutin ski bums, and we're starting to get away from that. Obviously, we are the Ski Bum Podcast. We're not as highfalutin as we used to be, man. Inflation, economy.
Yeah, dollar doesn't go as far as it used to.
Dollar bills, y'all. This is a sexy number. Look at this. It's the holographic one. Whoa.
That's a fancy one.
That is a fancy one. If you were up at the Snowbound Expo, you saw these all over the place because we were passing them out to folks. And also, too, I don't know why we didn't do these years ago. We did. Actually, you did make some up very early on when we had the older logo. But Coaster. When you think of us, you think of mediocre skiing, but awesome drinking and podcasting. So
there you go.
Boom. Podcast coasters. Do you want some of these? Hit us up. skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Also, big thank you out to the good folks at 10,000. You still got a little time to train. Mario, you said you were doing some training. Beautiful thing. I started doing a new workout regiment. I've been doing the same thing for a long time. I need to do something crazy and different. I started yesterday, and I've done 2 of them. And they're just kicking my ass. I'm doing the beach body. It's called the Lift More, and it does 2 muscle groups. So yesterday it was chest and biceps, and today was calves and quads. It supersets things. It does 3 sets, 12 reps each, and then does hit or burnouts at the end. I worked out a certain way for so long, and we have someone that kind of gives you a new platform, a new routine. Your body's just what are we doing? This hurts. I was sweating with this one.
Whoops you.
So this one's more of a lot more movement and less time between stuff. So I need this. This is good. It's supposed to be 8 weeks. It's probably gonna take me like 12 because I'm not gonna do the 5 workouts a week just because other stuff got going on. But awesome. And you know what I wore when I was working out? I used my gear from 10,000, 10,000.cc, athlete led. Only way to become your best is to work with the best. Their motto is better than yesterday. At the heart of 10,000 is the idea of pursuit in business, fitness, life, and skiing. They believe in moving forward with a quiet dedication to constant improvement and to becoming just a little bit better than you were yesterday. Use the code BSchneider15, BSCHNEIDER15, 15% off. Get jacked. Interval shorts, big fan of that one. Thank you, 10,000. All right, Mario, let's kick this off the way we always do.
It's time for Après Today.
I want to say, you inspired me with your après from last week, your velvet cream amaretto. I made a
good stuff, right? Risotto.
I made a deconstructed version, one while editing the podcast and watching the ski movies on Sunday. And then before this podcast, I had some leftover coffee, didn't want to waste it, threw in some cream, threw in some amaretto. Nice. Absolutely delicious. If you haven't tried it and you are down with bitter almonds and peach pits or whatever we talked about that makes up amaretto, delicious. So
it's damn good.
Excellent tip. Excellent.
Great in coffee. I was telling you earlier that like you could go half and half on coffee. It's what I did this weekend. I was like, let's try it out, man. And it's a lot better than the Irish Country Cream or the Baileys. It's too sweet.
Kirklealis.
So I was out in the grocery store and I'm like, I'm always looking for stuff. And I know it's, after Halloween, it's kind of weird time. People are going a little too early, I think, towards Christmas. But then you still have the laggers from Halloween, but it's still seasonal right now. Pumpkin beers, right? It's still, we're going to eat some pumpkin pie. This is the prime time right now. Pumpkin pie with a pumpkin beer, right? So I found out the good old Dogfish Head pumpkin ale.
Oh, look at that.
The pumpkin. Yeah, this is.
They changed their whole branding and everything, didn't they? Because it used to be orange.
Yeah, that whole can it's brown with the orange pumpkins. So it's just a little bit different branding, but yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool can. The beer, good nose.
So different look to the can, same deliciousness.
God damn, that's a good pumpkin beer. This is one of the favorite pumpkin beers. This is, I guess this pumpkin, and there was another, but I think this one rises to the top.
It comes in pretty heavy too, right? Isn't it around 8%?
7%.
Okay.
And it has like a brown sugar pumpkin pie. I wouldn't say pie, just pumpkin taste. The Gourd's Gone Wild, the perhaps? Cigar City one's pretty good too, but
Gourd's Gone Wild.
Gourd's Gone Wild. That's from Cigar City. That one's really good too. That's
one of the best names for a beer. For sure.
Yeah. Gourd's Gone Wild.
Gourd's Gone Wild.
But yeah, this one actually on Beer Advocate got an 88, which is pretty damn good. And I guess out of pumpkin beers, it's ranked 64th. I don't know what the whole pumpkin beer ranking thing's about.
Out of pumpkin beers? That seems crazy.
Seems really low, right?
I'm surprised there's that many pumpkin beers because I remember a couple years ago, everybody had at least a pumpkin, maybe two. And if you were the crazy people at Elysian, you had 4. Then it just dropped off after that. They were like, we got too much pumpkin beer. One of my favorite après ski times ever was at Mount Snow when you were having a pumpkin head in February. I'm like, there's no way this is fresh. This is like a leftover keg someone forgot about, or it was on sale, buried. It was because February is not exactly peak pumpkin.
Not known for pumpkin time. Yeah.
Not really. Yeah.
Oh, actually, so Cigar City makes one. I get them confused. I think they have one called Gourd's Gone Wild, but then there's another one called Good Gourd. And that's Cigar City. That one's number 5 on the list.
Good Gourd.
That's pretty legit. Number 5.
Oh my gourd.
Oh my gourd. I love the play of words. Oh, Punkachino. Elysian, that one, you like that one's 17.
17, rank 17 or 17%.
Rank 17.
Okay. That's a good
pretty
one.
good.
That's one of the best ones.
And I saw a whole show on, they were talking about pumpkin, and they make this. So the story behind the pumpkin ale is, I guess it's named after Pumpkin Chunkin, the the festival they have where they launch pumpkins after, like, I guess it's after Halloween. They launch these pumpkins with like trebuchets and crap like that just to see how far they could throw them in a field. So they said, I guess they have this contest. In 1994, they had the contest, and it was 6 months before they opened their brewery for business. But I guess they participated in it, and they really got jazzed about it, and they decided to they actually put pumpkin chunks in their beer. So it's pumpkin meat and brown sugar and spices they put in there. So I'm like, so it's made with real pumpkin. There's a whole thing, like, I don't know, 2 years ago with all the pumpkin stuff. And they were saying how it's all just chemicals and crap. A lot of times it's just the spices of pumpkin, and that's it. You get no pumpkin in it. So
It's a goddamn shame.
nice to know they actually have pumpkin in this.
I will tell you, I know it's the most, basic bitch kind of thing, the pumpkin spice latte. Everyone makes fun
Yep.
of it. I have not had one, like a Starbucks one, in years. But my wife makes pumpkin butter. Which
See?
you use like the pumpkin meat, and you use apple cider and maybe applesauce and spices, and you cook it down. So there's pumpkin
Nice.
butter, and I have used that and a little bit of heavy cream and put
Oh, so
that
it's like a spread.
into my
It's
coffee.
not butter. It's like a spread, like a jam.
Yeah, but it's like
almost.
like apple butter. There's no
Yeah,
apple jam for some reason, but there is apple butter. So it's like almost like a very
Isn't that weird?
thick, kind of jamish consistency, almost like a peanut
Nice.
butter. So yeah, maybe it is. That's why. But yeah, so
Oh,
I use
okay.
that with a little bit of cream and put that in my coffee. Not often,
That sounds pretty good.
once or twice on the weekends, and I will tell you, it did not.
So you can
disappoint.
carry a like to-go tube of that, and like when you go out, just put that shit in your coffee. Be like, yeah, I got my own. You put that in
I
there.
have one of those for when I do the smoker. I have one of those meat injectors. I could use one of those
Nice.
just leave a loaded meat injector and just jam it in my coffee. And people are like, "What is this savage doing?
What is he
putting,
doing?
Like bone broth into his coffee?"
If
Maybe
you get road rage, would you like get out and jam that in somebody's neck? Be like, here you go. Have some pumpkin mother effer.
it can do some damage.
Oh,
I think of, like,
those things
like,
are scary.
remember Sons of Anarchy when would they capture or they grab Jax's ex-wife and like jabbed her with heroin, so she would like
Oh,
lose
yeah.
custody of their son. Like
Yep. They made
that's
her
one of the
junkie again.
darkest scenes of a show that had so many dark scenes. To me, that was one of the.
Well, and that was the girl from The Sopranos that got
Trey
like
DiMatteo.
basically the same thing happened to her at the end. Just about, right?
She was
disappeared.
goddamn rat. Rat's got to
The
go.
rat. Yeah, she like came back as like a therapist. It was a whole weird twist on that whole thing.
Yeah.
In both series. In Sons of Anarchy it was weird, and then in The Sopranos it was weird too. I don't know. Weird.
They were pretty
I just
hardcore
remember
shows.
Chrissy sat on her dog. He was like,
Christopher, you sat on my dog. Yeah.
he's like, I don't know. It was
It's all like,
fucking
like
horrible.
heroined out and just squish her little stupid dog.
Squish the dog, little
Yeah.
yappy dog. It's a
Terrible.
horrible way to go for a dog, man.
It really is.
There's no good way to go. Let's put it that way. Just saying,
But
that's a
there's-
horrible way.
But there's better ways. There's better ways, that's for sure.
There's better ways. There's no good ways, but there's better ways.
Indeed.
All right, what do you got drinking?
So we're doing this again right before Thanksgiving. This is probably going to come out Thanksgiving weekend. So hopefully when you're driving around, doing what you got to do, commuting from your in-laws who drive you crazy, you want to see, we're giving you some fun, happy vibes. So I love this week. This is one of the best weeks of the year. Everyone's getting fired up for ski season. People aren't working that hard. It's nice. You can enjoy some family if you like your family, and you can eat a bunch of good stuff and drink a bunch of good stuff. So for my good stuff, this is one of my favorite bourbons. And I
Ooh,
forgot
bourbon.
about this bourbon for a while because I was always looking for something newer and fancier and
Hmm.
trying to find was the smaller batch and like Whistle Pig. They did a version or a collab with Pit Viper and did one with
Oh,
Traeger.
look
And
at
it's like
that.
this is all getting to be completely insane.
Was it $2.1 million?
Pretty cool. Yeah, that's right.
60-year-old Macallan?
It's like
Is that what it is? You gonna surprise us?
Macallan and Listerine collaboration. It's like delicious
Listerine.
Scotch flavored mouthwash.
You don't even have to brush your teeth. You just drink the
So
scotch.
so I had the original a few months ago, again, forgetting how good the original was. And then this is like the next level one, which is still pretty old school, but I went back to good old Maker's Mark. And
Nice.
the Maker's Mark
All right.
46, which is like the French oaked fancy version of the regular
Fancified.
Maker's Mark. And I got this bottle actually up in New Hampshire at the good old state store where there's no taxes and it really isn't that much cheaper. But
Nice.
it still seems like you should buy something when you go there because it seems
for
like
your
a good
die.
deal. Yeah, it's oaky, it's woody, it's just got that delicious old school Maker's Mark taste. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you about this?
What if
Wood
you had no
spice.
taste buds? Would you just be like, it's brown and I drink
Vanilla,
it?
caramel. What I did have this weekend for the first time, we did like a Thanksgiving with side of the family that's not going to be at real Thanksgiving. I had
Nice.
some of that Heaven's Door, the Bob Dylan bourbon.
All right.
Very good.
A little bit of
Very,
Dylan in
very
every bottle.
Bit of Dylan in everyone, yeah. How does it feel? Well, it's a great unknown. But yeah, that one was really vanilla. Like it finished really vanilla-y. It was tasty. It was such an awesome like man time. Like we were deep frying a turkey. So just a bunch of guys, a bunch of men watching the turkey, sipping bourbon. Like just
And you didn't
awesome.
burn down like a barn or a house or an overhang, nothing?
No, this was not the first rodeo with the deep frying of the turkey. And
Did
it was
they ever
significantly-
burn something pretty good with it?
What's that?
Did they ever have an accident and like burn like something pretty good?
No, this one they'd gone through all the steps. They brined it 24 hours. It was dried. Like it wasn't wet. But I think frozen is the problem. When you see all those accidents online, people don't like
Yeah, they
it
dropped off.
properly, and it just
Frozen, undefrosted,
it's
just
just like
what are
napalm
they expecting?
explosion.
what are they expecting? Like it's just gonna like fry the outside. It's all gonna be raw inside. Like
Yeah, it was
just
a
gonna
tiny
get
bit
thick.
dry. May have kept it in a little bit too long, but it was still very good. My first time having a deep fried turkey, and it was
Nice. You prove?
pretty good. With the bourbon, it was lovely.
Nice.
So Maker's 46. That's me today.
And turkey.
And turkey.
You just like go bring like a big glass of that like at freaking Thanksgiving. That sends a message to like family. Just like a whole big like water glass full of that bourbon. Just put it down, but like,
You know
yep.
what I saw at the liquor store today, they had I guess it's a novelty flask. It's like a little gas can.
Nice.
Like the old school, like
Yeah.
rectangular gas cans, like one of those that you can
Nice.
just like use as a flask and bring that with you. I mean,
There you go.
and I kind of like my family and like my in-laws, so I don't think that would be necessary. But I guess if you were someone who really didn't, that might be the way to go. If you want to
You
send
want
a
to speed
message,
things
maybe
up and get out of there. Yeah.
avoid
that
next
out.
year's invite.
Let's go to ski news.
We have big news. IndyPass unveils a new logo, a new website, and a physical pass. So they announced the launch of a new visual brand identity today.
This is actually,
And-
since we're recording this on the Tuesday, this isn't going out till Wednesday. So
Right.
technically, this is
and
embargoed
We're
news.
holding it. Yeah, we're holding it until it breaks. So
The podcast is going out after that, so we figured we can share.
without breaking any rules here, they trust us with their information, and we trust we do the right thing. But they're saying one of the big things is a first ever physical pass to further distinguish the Indy Pass from other multi-mountain products. So They're saying they want it to be a little more recognizable. They want people to carry it in their wallet, show it, flash it, tease their friends, that kind of stuff. But they're saying their RFID passes around the new brand identity, and they're going to replace driver's license and other non-branded IDs previously used to redeem lift tickets at ticket windows. So they're saying pass holders may still redeem for the coming season using the traditional method of showing ID at the ticket window, but in the future they see the RFID passes being shipped in custom die-cut packaging, including bumper stickers and a personal letter to all pass holders from the CEO, Eric Morganson, and founder, Doug Fish. So very interesting that they're doing that.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they're getting rid of the original original logo.
Yeah.
It just seemed, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't, I don't know. There's
Still
something about it
simple.
that seemed,
Little, right?
there's a lot going on there. You got the mountain, you got the sunrise, you got the skis, you got the different colors. It was okay, but
It reminded me of something else. I don't know what, but I was kind of like, it was all right. I mean,
well, the big thing is now they're actually going from Indie Ski Pass to IndiePass.com. Because remember we talked to Doug about that the one time, and he said, I guess
couldn't
wasn't it
buy
some
it,
sort
right?
of indie racing, IndyCar pass
Yeah.
before?
Damn.
So it's cool they got that. Yeah, I mean, it looks, it definitely looks more legit this way. I mean, in a way, it kind of stinks. You got to use a snowflake because it seems like so many brands in the ski and snowboard world use a snowflake, but snowflakes are unique. Everyone's different. So,
Right. It's not an indie. See, that one could have been confused with an indie hiking pass, indie mountain pass. No, this is indie ski pass, indie snow sport pass, right?
So it's cool that they're doing this. Having the physical pass will be nice, and it'll be easier to get on the mountain that way. And yeah, it's crazy to see how this has evolved too. I mean, we kind of always love talking about Indie Pass stories because from what it went from to where it is now, I mean, they have 183 partners now across 3 continents. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be growing and growing. So congrats to Eric and Doug. And yeah, looking forward to getting mine in the mail. I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, loving these passes. Always a big fan of Indy.
All right, next up, Evo expanding their footprint in Japan with acquisition of Berglund Hotel in Hakuba. So we all know Evo. It's a great online retailer.
Is that Mario, like the Cuba of Japan? Hakuba?
Hakuba, perhaps. We've been to the Evo store in Seattle, which was pretty cool with our buddy Nick.
I bought my DPSs from Evo online.
Look at you. So the outdoor retailer and experiences company today announced the opening of their second Evo hotel.
Wow.
Evo Hotel Hakuba follows the company's first traditional hotel offering, Evo Hotel Salt Lake, which debuted in 2022 in Salt Lake City. Evo is deepening its commitment to developing adventure-based experiences in Japan, which already consists of more than a dozen Evo trip travel experiences across locations, including Hakuba, Niseko, and Furano. Rhythm Japan retail and rental stores, Rhythm Rides instruction and guiding, and the iconic winter brand that was born in Japan, Oyuki. Evo Hotel Hakuba will open following a renovation of now acquired Berglund Hotel, which was built in anticipation of the 98 Nagano Olympics and renovated in 2012. Currently, the hotel boasts 21 guest rooms, onsens with views of Happo One Resort and the Japanese Alps, and an on-site restaurant. Evo will begin renovations in late 24 and will hopefully have it open in the 24-25 winter season.
Sweet.
What's really cool about this is, Japan is an intimidating trip for the average
Westerners, yeah.
Yeah, because the language barrier is pretty much the biggest part of that. And it's one of those places where, if you went to Tokyo, you could probably get by okay. A lot of folks know English, but once you get up into the mountain area, there's a lot less folks who speak English. So you could easily be like, I don't know, it's a little too tricky. I'm not going to bother doing that. Evo, they actually have these package trips that they offer. And to now have the hotel as part of that, that's really big. Like, that's going to make it, I mean, think about it. They can do it all season now.
Oh, yeah.
Every week or every other week, however they're going to do it. Just having multiple trips out west. And then working, with that Rhythm Japan, which is, the shop with rentals. So they have 7,000 skis and snowboards, as well as boot fitting services, accessories, apparel. So that'll be awesome.
They do a 3D scanning for boot fitting. Isn't that cool?
Again, something we've talked about a long time in terms of, how do you get boot renting to be a better experience? How do you make it more comfortable? How do you make it so that people, can have a good first experience? And, imagine if you didn't have to drag your boots with you on trips, if they're able to do it in a way where the rented boots is as good as what you're used to.
Yeah. And they're saying that, or they say in the article that I guess it's in the Japanese Alps on mainland Japan, which averages over 500 inches of snow each year.
Average.
That's insane. Average.
Yep. And it is a 3-hour bullet train or 4-hour drive from Narita International Airport, which is in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, it's cool. I just hope that they don't try to westernize it too much. I think we're all, there's certain things that we're comfortable with, but we're also in a way wanting, if you went to Japan and it was basically the exact same experience as going to Vail, why would you
not
bother?
fun? Right.
That's
the whole draw and allure, right? You get to see another culture and ski.
Yeah. That's what makes it so interesting, is because you want to experience that different culture. And, I think we all kind of like to pick all the best from all the different cultures and kind of manifest our lives and our existence with that. And hopefully this just kind of gives you the platform to do that, leaving the culture, leaving things as it should be in that area, and just allowing folks to kind of experience it, enjoy it, and make it part of theirs versus westernizing it to the point where, again, it's like any other place in North America.
Right.
And I think they're going to, I'm assuming it sounds like they're going to do that based on their plans.
Yeah, well, I guess Evo sets up like experiences, which is cool, right? So it's not just that you stay at the hotel, but you could enjoy one of their experiences, which is kind of cool.
Well, just too.
They guide you and they take you around, that kind of stuff.
Here's my $5,000. Just tell me where to go. Have the hotel set up, have the transportation set up, so I can just show up to the airport, get there, and then have everyone else kind of point me in the right direction to get to the mountain. That's worth its weight in gold, because, like we talked about before, Japan's a tricky place if you're not speaking the language and you're from the America, Canada. So setting up this way, you got your base camp there. Evo takes care of all that, and you just go and just experience Japan. Like they'll get you there. That's 90% of the battle.
Pretty sweet.
Love it. All right, we got one more story here in the ski news. And now this one, I got to tell you, I've been paying a lot of attention to this. Peak Ski Company, they have announced they're doing a crowdfunding round. It's happening on Republic.com, which I had not heard of, but I guess I subscribed to Peak's newsletter, and I got the email yesterday and went and clicked on it. They, again, have set up a crowdfunding. So you go to Republic.com and they talk about, investing in the future of skiing. Skis have existed for thousands of years, but for too long, their design for and delivery to customers has been stagnant until now. Welcome to Peak Ski Company, the most innovative, customer-focused, and forward-thinking ski company on Earth. In 2022, former ski area CEO Andy Worth and six-time Olympian Bodie Miller launched Peak Ski Company. Peak's goal is to reinvent your skis and the way you buy them. In year one, Peak launched with its first 6 models of skis containing technology and construction that made them perform unlike any other ski in the market. At the same time, we also established the first at-scale direct-to-consumer e-commerce ski company, giving consumers a more contemporary and entirely new way to purchase skis. I remember it was a big deal when they launched these. There was a lot of hype behind it. They've done a lot of sponsorships of Snowbound, and they were a big part of both of the Snowbound Expos in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to understand exactly why they're doing this, because they talk about how they had some sort of pretty big investments. And I remember there was a story when they first launched about how is it like a venture capital company or
Yeah,
something?
why would they be crowdfunding, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember or find that article about when they had that as, when they first launched. Because again, it's not a cheap undertaking to make this happen. That
Yeah, they
said,
do a lot of technology and research, right?
yeah. So they talked about their first year. It was a big success. They came out pretty high up in a lot of the different gear rankings. I know this year I was looking at a couple different, and again, they came up really strong. They said they had a strong sales year in year one with over 4,000 skis sold and $3 million in revenue. Sales were not confined to the U.S., but spanned countries and continents, including Europe, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. High net promoter score, earned a strong score of 73, reflecting a deep level of trust and customer satisfaction. Consistent 5-star reviews. Voted as one of the top 5 most memorable brands in the snow sports industry's 2023 Consumer Insights Report. Award-winning recognition, Outdoor Mag, Cover Guide, highly ranked test results, Backcountry 2024 Gear Guide, Free Skier Buyer's Guide. Again, a lot of success. So here's their initiative. Developing industry-leading skis in our first year was the first element of our vision and plans for Peak. So they're trying to do more. Okay, now I remember the article. I remember that we talked about when the article that came out. I think it was the Wall Street Journal or Barron's or one of those finance companies. They're talking about how they wanted to build things differently and almost get it to you so you can buy things for like $300. They wanted to like create a whole new kind of manufacturing process to get these things, kind of churned out,
easier,
built a lot cheaper.
Cheaper to manufacture.
Yeah. And they talk about that a bit too. The re-engineering of the ski manufacturing process. Production methods and equipment generally lack consistency and precision and are remarkably wasteful due to the manual hand labor involved. Existing processes and machinery are quite slow. Peak is advancing the comprehensive re-engineering of ski manufacturing with its German-based development partner, Biller, a renowned global company with clients including Mercedes-Benz, Husqvarna, Bosch, and more. Our re-engineering project is based on a specific 5-point development plan criteria, which we spent years developing. At this stage, both Peak and Biller are developing a detailed project plan that provides for a workable prototype by summer 2024.
Wow.
EU expansion. Look at that. Showing a co-founder, Bodie Miller, obviously. Andy Worth, CEO. All the different folks. Chris Davenport, JT Holmes, Michelle Parker. All those.
That's pretty cool.
And now we get to the different levels of investment. So this is where it starts to get interesting, and you can see what you get from this.
That's what I was just looking at.
And this is where I've been trying to figure something out. So $500 is the basic one. You can get a hat, and a Bodie Miller signed poster. Okay, that's cool. $1,000. This one's already sold out. They only had 100. So you get
Damn.
the hat and the poster from the 500 level, but you also get a unique Peak branded insulated vest from Stio, which is pretty cool. So they sold that one out. Boom, 100 grand. All
Wow.
100 of those sold out. And now we bump up $2,500. So you still get the vest, you get the poster and the hat, but you also get 15% off discount any one-time purchase in custom Peak carbon fiber ski poles.
Mm.
That one's looking tasty. And then at $5,000, the same thing, instead of the 15% off one time, 20% off 2 transactions. Even more interesting, $15,000. Only 7 have invested. There's 50 spots available. So you get everything up there. Get the hat, poles, the Stio vest, 2 pairs of skis,
Damn.
and a private tour of Peak's headquarters, as well as the Development Group Innovation Center. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing the math in my head. Remember last week we talked about the most expensive skis you can buy?
Yeah. 15 grand for 2 pair.
15 for 2 pair.
But you get a tour also. So I don't know.
And you
How
get-
much is the tour?
But you get a vest, you get a
You
hat,
get all
and
the
a
other
signed
stuff.
poster,
Exactly. And ski poles.
and poles. So basically,
And
you're
discounts.
kind of losing money by not getting this.
Exactly.
All right, if you got more money burning a hole in your pocket, about 50K. There's 10 of these left, so got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You get all the good stuff. You get the 2 pairs of skis, you get the hat, the vest. A day of skiing with Bodie Miller, JT Holmes, Chris Davenport, and or Michelle Parker.
Pretty damn nice.
That's pretty sweet. And then $100,000, you get all the stuff that we talked about, and a semi-private day of skiing with Bodie Miller.
Hmm.
Only 2 of those
So you-
left.
So you get 2 days. You get a day, you get a day with Bodie, JT Holmes, Chris Davenport, and or Michelle Parker.
Yep.
And you get a semi-private day of skiing with Bodie Miller. So that's 2
That's
days
what
skiing
it
with Bodie.
sounds like. And what does semi-private mean?
There's probably somebody
Like
else
50
there. Maybe
people.
another person. Yeah, 50 people.
Well, I'm guessing there's only 2 spots. I'm guessing semi-private is both the people who invested. If there's 2,
Oh, that could be.
they
Yeah.
would both go. That would make sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
All right, so Mario, you're into Peak skis. Which level are you jumping in on?
I got the money. I think 50 grand is probably the sweet spot right there.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
That's a nice one. For the extra 50,
Well, basically, you're saying that a day of skiing with Bodie, JT, Chris, and Michelle is worth $35,000.
yeah, ipso
Because
facto. Then you get
15,000 one is everything else except for that.
right. That's true.
Is a day of skiing with them worth $35,000? You could buy a USA Gold for the next 2 years with that money.
That is true.
Or you could buy a $200 gun, find Bodie Miller, like go fucking skiing.
Going skiing, bitch. That's where you buy the 15,000
I don't
and the
think
gun.
we definitely do not think that's the way to go.
That's not a
but-
good way to go.
It depends how bad you want to ski with Bodie.
Well, look at that. 15 grand, you get 2 pair of skis. That's not bad. Now, the private tour of the
And you get the
headquarters.
vest, and you get the poles.
Private tour of the headquarters. Bodie goes to the bathroom. You go next to him, chat him up. There you go. Got to hang out with Bodie Miller. Semi-private urination. And,
Hung out
you
in the
know,
bathroom with Bodie Miller.
hung out in the bathroom. I was pissing next to him.
Yeah.
It's better than
Potentially
having a
hang out
meal.
in the bathroom, with Bodie Miller.
It's more intimate than having a meal. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
true. Yeah, I feel like the 15 grand one is kind of the sweet spot. My question is
just-
so you get, I guess, equity in the company if you buy this. And And it's so
How much equity? Let's see what you get.
well, what's interesting too is going into the discussion in this because people ask questions. People who are way smarter and have better business, I don't know, acumen, better questions. Because as a stupid skier, as I am, I get 2 pairs of skis. I want to spend $15,000. You know what? I'll put it on my 401k and I will get 2 pairs of skis. That's the kind of dummy I am. So it's nice seeing these questions and people are asking important questions. Are you able to shed any light on how the 1.4 million gross profit resulted in a $6.3 million loss for 2023? What is your
Damn.
current inventory and when do the PIUs vest? What is the status of the litigation? It looks like the litigation alone would consume just about the entire raise.
Oof.
See, Dustin Kirby asking real questions, not which skis can I get, which is,
Dustin sounds like a lawyer for the people that are suing him.
yeah. And you got some other people. What is the price
Somebody
of each
talking
share?
about their design and proprietary technologies.
This person's not even a skier, and they're asking all kinds of good questions about the Lock 8 patent they have designed for tracking and locating skis. Can this technology be used to monitor a skier's performance as well? Will this raise be for the entire Peak Ski company and all proprietary technology? Is licensing the technology that Path Peak is aiming for? Like, these people are asking good questions.
Man, Tracy Chong went off.
Uh-oh. Tracy
She's
Chang.
like asking about Tracy Chang. She went off. She's like asking about the value, the IPO, the loss of money. It's like, ooh, she went back and forth with a few people.
Yeah, well, the question
Danced a
was,
few rounds with people.
yeah, Dave Clark asked a good question. I see that you sold only 4,000 pair last season, which is a very low amount. What did you do with the rest of the initial production run from Elon? I saw many skis were given away or at huge discount. Is this program to fund even more skis from the supplier or cover the loss from last year?
Ooh.
Without a retailer sales channel, how is it possible to come close to meeting your minimums only via e-commerce? And yeah, then Tracy kind of went in there.
Oh, yeah, she was fighting back. And then Dave fought back again. And then Matt Johnson jumped in. And then Tracy jumped in again. And then Steven. And then Tracy. She was out there. She
Yeah.
was getting in front of that.
What equity this would equate to? Your return depends on your investment amount, the company's exit valuation, how much the company is worth if and when a trigger event happens, and the terms of the crowd safe. There is no market where the value is tracked and they are not valued until a trigger event occurs. Peak's safe note includes a valuation cap of $36 million. So any future trigger event that converts these notes will be capped at a valuation of $36 million. Investors using the crowd safe get a financial stake in the company, but are not immediately holders of equity. Oh my God.
Getting into the details of this.
This is complicated.
Yeah, move along, Mister. You're not our investor.
Maybe I'll just buy a pair of skis and not worry about this complicated crap.
Yeah. Why don't you just invest in some other crappy stock that's going to go tank?
Do accept credit cards, though.
There you go.
Who is Tracy Chang anyway? Do we know?
I think she was on the. Wasn't she in the article as one of the?
Oh, she's the CMO. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
She's one of the members of the board. Of the, there it is. CMO.
Damn.
Yeah, she came back, Tracy Chang.
This is pretty interesting stuff. These are the kind of things we like talking about here because, it's definitely ski related, but it's also, I don't know, it's interesting. Like, imagine you do jump in here and you buy a stake in this. Say you drop the 15 grand, get your skis now, and you just hang on to this. What if Peak Skis and that production plan with Biller pans out and they do revolutionize ski production and the company becomes worth I don't know, tack on a 0 or 2. Well, let's tack on a 0. So 36 million, 360 million.
It's the valuation of your stock or your investment, right?
Tack on a 0, right? Theoretically.
That's what you want to say, but sometimes it doesn't work that way.
I will say I have done one of these crowdfunding things because there was a certain product I wanted. I didn't want to spend the money on it. And I invested enough.
And you can't even mention the product now.
They're still around. I don't really understand what's going on. It was a clothing company. I invested $500 to get a $150 gift card to get the shirt that I wanted.
All right.
And then maybe a few months ago, I got an email. They're like, "Yeah, we're filing bankruptcy."
Damn
like,
it.
Oh, that
Did
was
you get to redeem your thing?
dumb. Of course, I got the shirt I wanted. So I
All
guess.
right. There you go.
But now, theoretically, the shirt that I bought for $150 cost me $500 because that's how much I spent on the investment.
But if
And
they
then
went
the
back,
investment just
it may be worth a lot of money someday. Hold on to that.
so theoretically, at least with this, say you did invest 15 grand, you got your 2 pairs of Peak skis, and then the company goes belly up next year, you still have your $7,500 a pair of skis that you can have a wonderful topic to talk about at Après Ski.
But you got ski poles with it too. So it's all
And a
kinda cool.
vest.
And a vest.
So,
So you
know,
could ski there with your vest, your poles, and your skis and be like, yep, I was an investor.
yeah, I was early stage investor in Peak. Yeah, it's
The
unfortunate.
angel investor.
Angel investor. These things happen. I'm planting seeds everywhere. This doesn't
You
even
know
affect
somebody's going to invest 500 and be like, yeah, I'm in business with Bodie Miller.
people.
As soon as you be like throwing that around. Oh yeah, Bodie and I, we're owners in the same company.
You know what? And worst case, now if you gotta be thinking this way, this could be a tax write-off. If it goes belly up. So
There you go. It's a loss,
you
right?
still have the skis.
Boom.
It's something worth considering. End of year. I don't know if any people are looking for tax write-offs end of the year, looking to move some money around.
Perfect time for tax write-offs.
This is kind of cool. I kind of like that.
If you need tax write-offs, you book and prepay for your ski trips right now. Just boom, boom.
Yeah.
Just throw a few extra in there.
We'll put the link in the show notes if you want to take a look, if you want to get in. If you have any stories of getting in and what your plans are, hit us up, skibumpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
So, Mario, I think it's now time for the good old main topic. And as we mentioned, we love ski movies. Who doesn't love ski movies?
Oh, yeah.
I know occasionally I've made comments about why do we make why are ski movies even made? Like, is it really just showing off sponsors stuff? Is that the real reason why they do it?
So
at least that's
before we get into this.
Well,
I was gonna say before we get into this, we did talk about the Warren Miller ski movie recently, and
correct, we did.
We did have a comment from our buddy Mark, and he's the guy that I met on a trip to where was it? It was to Italy. Yeah, it was the last time I went to Italy. But he commented, he's like, I don't know if I can get really excited about the Warren Miller this year because it's all a bunch of clips from old movies that I've already seen, and it just seems like we were expecting a little more, right? And I kind of get it, right? Like there's nothing new, no kind of new thing to come out with. Like,
well, there was new stuff, and it was
a little bit
different.
of new stuff. Yeah,
they had the Donnie Peltier, Johnny Mosley kind of collab, which was pretty funny. That had some that was pretty fun to watch, but that was maybe 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
What they did before the movie even started, they showed 3 mini films. They were like 6-7 minutes long, and 2 of them were skiing. One was actually about local hockey rinks up in Canada and people who take care of them. And you could vote on those 3 movies which were like the best, and the winner got I think 10 or 15,000 towards making their next film, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
And I'll say I went in a bit skeptical to the movie. It was short; it was only an hour, but there was no intermission. They just played it through. It was fun because it was almost like a history of Warren Miller movies. like a compendium, a compilation showing, where it started out, the trends of the different decades to where we are now.
Yeah.
Almost like a love letter to the ski industry. I liked it. I was surprised how much I did. It didn't have kind
Wasn't
of
the
the
normal expectation though? Like when you go get jazzed up, you go see the Warren Miller film, you got a little Warren Miller, the narration and then the storytelling about everything. It was different, right?
It was different. It was different. And I mean, I
I'm
was
not going to say it's bad, but it's different than what you would normally expect.
well, all the movies. I mean, for a while there, it seemed like it was a bit of stagnation.
Yeah.
We're going to the same couple places every other year, and the same people and the same jokes and sponsors, and it
Yeah.
was still cool, but it needed something new and fresh to mix it up. And this was at least different, which was cool. I mean, I really did enjoy it. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it compared to the last couple. But Warren Miller, or at least Warren Miller Entertainment / Outside, is not the only one making ski and snowboard movies. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go over some that we found, and we found a good handful of them that either it's a trailer or a piece of the movie, or some of them are just the whole movie that we came across. And we're going to kick it off with this one is from pretty much the rival. Would you say TGR is like the big rival to Warren Miller? If you're looking, I guess they're like the two
They're
big
just
guns.
different. Yeah,
They're different.
but they're just different.
They're definitely different, but I would say they're probably like the two biggest movies that you think of is Warren Miller and TGR. And their new film this year, Legend Has It, has a clip or a segment with Kai Jones. And pretty much everyone follows any like social media skiing knows about Kai Jones, who is just an absolute skiing phenom. But he also had a pretty awful injury
On film
last season. And they were showing, he's a Jackson Hole skier and had a great season, and then had this incident where he was just actually just this past spring, March 27th or March 7th this year, you see him dropping in off this just insane run. And what is that? 70 feet, 60 feet he drops in.
Dude, it was horrible.
And he just explodes. And it turns out he broke both his legs.
Both
now,
his
Kai
tibias.
is 16 years old.
Yeah.
16 years old. And, it's kind of awful because, they're out there in the back country and, he's just screaming bloody murder. And, people have to get over to him. They got to helicopter him out. And it shows, what he had to go through. It talked, the recovery. They didn't get into it as much as I expected them to. But they have some decent hospital footage and, him kind of rolling out with his double casks on.
Yeah, but they show like the accident and it's just like, damn.
What do you think?
It's just pretty bad.
What do you think that was the drop? 60, 70 feet? He sends it?
Probably more than that. It was really well because he touches, but he's still kind of going at terminal velocity. Like he's not slowing down.
And he just
explodes. It's
explodes
super
when he hits.
steep. Yeah. So the tibia tubercle, which he broke, is so there's the top part of your tibia, which is one of your largest bones. A bit. What is the fibula is bigger? I don't know.
Fibula. Those are the two lower leg bones, right?
The tibia and the femur is the top one.
Femur's like the big one on top. Yeah,
that's the big one. So this is
one there too.
Yeah, there's two. There's two in the lower, right? And the tibia is like the big one. And I guess it's the big one kind of where almost um the kneecap like attaches to the tibia.
Yes, you're right. The tibia is the big one, and then the fibula is the one behind that.
Right. So he broke both of those,
Oof.
which I don't know how bad. I think one was like pointing the other direction for a little bit of the video. It's pretty gross. But yeah, that's messed up, man. He
Yeah,
looks
the femur is the single thick bone above your knee. Then you have the patella, and you have the fibula and the tibia. So the
most interesting and horrifying thing of the video is like he is screaming in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And they play it all, and then they show the guys like getting him like stabilized and all, and it was very real. It gets shit real after a while. You're like, whoa, this isn't just, hey, everybody does everything cool. Like people really get hurt doing this stuff, and you got to appreciate that. What they do.
Yeah, and he's been in these TGR movies for 5 years, like since he was 11. Like that's how sick of a skier he is and has been. And
but they're saying it's a common injury in kids, like it's 12 to 16 because of the growth plates or something.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, so they say it's not uncommon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's oof.
So it shows a bunch of footage after, and now I'm trying to it's
like invincible.
But I guess that must be footage since his recovery, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense because it talks about how in the description of the video here, it says Kai's recovery is going well and he'll be back on the slopes in December.
Oh, so maybe that was footage before he.
It's got to be. It's got to be before
legs.
Footage.
Yeah. That's just wild.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, the skiing they showed from, before he got injured, he's just, the things he drops are
insane.
Bananas. And you see it, like, just how much fun he has skiing. It's so just inspiring to see, someone that young who's that good, and to just, you kind of just all you can do is just to savor it, like try to like enjoy that energy and try to ski with that sort of love that he is, because he really just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously we're not doing the stuff he's doing. We would break more bones than those, that's for sure. But it's just cool to watch him.
Oh yeah. No, it's very, very cool. Yeah, so that was interesting. That was a neat little.
And that's just one little clip of like the whole. I haven't watched the whole Legend Has It movie, but that's just one part.
Just the clip was very cool. And then we also watched this BRAP 3. Did you watch the whole thing on that?
BRAP 3 was actually the one I started with on Sunday. When I talked about my Sunday of watching ski movies, that was the first one, because we originally had put about 3 movies into last week's main ski news, and then I was like, wow, we have so many movies, why don't we just make a whole main topic of it? And found a bunch more. So this is the one I started watching, and it's the BRAP 3, so obviously it's the third one. Made by Crazy Carl. Good old Carl Fostved. And this one's about, say, 28 minutes total. And
that's pretty good.
It's cool because they do a lot of Tahoe skiing, and they go up to Alaska. They do some skiing in Utah as well. Excuse me. But what's cool about it, they do a lot of snowmobiling too. And some of the places they take their sleds out to is pretty sick. There's a couple scenes they show where they're just on this road. I mean, it's got to be like a famous road, but you see these guys like back flipping from one side of the road across the other, and there's cars going by. And I'm stupid, and I don't know where that spot is. My guess is it's somewhere in Tahoe, but I'm probably wrong. But they just show a bunch of different scenes where they're doing that. They have Carl going up to Alaska, and they talk about, he's Crazy Carl, but, he really is legit. And, did his homework and found some really good quality spots to to do some footage and not being stupid, which when you're crazy Carl,
It's not good.
you think what's possible, what could be, you might do something stupid, but no, it's super legit. It was really cool. And I like some of the comments here on YouTube. And one of the ones that I liked the most is that it says, made me feel the way I did 20 years ago watching ski movies. Engaged and
Nice.
flowing with the music, you captured a lost art. And that's what I thought too. It was
They
just
cool music.
it was cool. Like, yes. Like they weren't trying to like, let's put in some, we need to get some from this brand or from this genre of newer music. It was just like fun, cool music that was like energetic and just cool, fun skiing.
Yeah. Very cool.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, that was one of the better ones I saw.
Yeah. Definitely worth checking that one out. Again, we have the links to all these in the show notes if you want to check them out yourself. The next one was Homesick. Home, sick. And this was I just have the trailer here. Came out 8 days ago. And this is a Tahoe movie, which is pretty cool. And this is the Ski for the Love crew. And they came back to do this again. And they talked about pretty much Tahoe and how insane last year was. And it's funny, the comments like filmed on location in Tahoe and as far away as South Lake Tahoe. So it's just this group of 5 or 6.
They did show the amount of snow that was there, and it was insane.
I mean, it was just such a bonkers year in terms of how much snow they had. So
Yeah.
you didn't have to travel too far, and they're
Stay there.
just showing all the great spots in that area, the crazy footage, super gnarly runs that they found. And again, if you're familiar with that area or you're a Tahoe skier, you're probably going to appreciate it even more. But I mean, kick-ass footage and a bunch of buddies doing this together. This was a cool trailer. I don't know when the movie is officially coming out. I don't know if it is already. Doesn't look like it. I don't know when it's coming out, but that'll be cool when it finally does come out.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. And then next up, we have Mountain State 2.0. Another, again, every one of them's cool, but they're all in their different special ways. This one is Josh Dake and his crew. And this is the 2.0. So this is the second one of these films. And pretty much they're skiing in Nevada. And I guess the last time they did it, they didn't quite have the experience they were hoping for. And this year, I guess they kind of lucked out. And what's cool is and I didn't know this, they kind of focus on Highway 50, which is the loneliest highway in America.
Look at that.
And luckily, because of the, we talked about in the previous film, Tahoe, that area getting all that snow. Usually it's like Route 80 corridor north. This one, kind of this little further south area, was able to get it. And they kind of they talk about how cool the skiing is, but they also show some of the crazy people, crazy places they encountered too. A couple of really funky bars and just a different, again, it's like a different twist on this ski movie because there's actually like a story behind it. There's like a tale, and the area they chose is in a spot that in some winters is not going to get snow that they fortunately got last year. So when you look at it on the map, it's pretty much, you look at Reno, and when you go east, it's 80 goes northeast. This goes southeast. And it just goes pretty much across the state, and then eventually into Utah. but I wonder exactly where the
Yeah, cool.
mountains are. There's like, kind of ghost towns they hit, and it's kind of
Mm,
fascinating because you learn a little bit geography, history, different things.
loneliest
Like not
highway
the
in
usual.
America. Yeah.
It's right by Virginia City.
Is that a ghost town now?
I think so, yeah. Virginia City is like just north of it by a couple miles. And it's cool too when people do stuff in different spots. Like it's not the same thing every time.
This
So
goes
this
from
might be worth.
Sacramento to Maryland. Wow.
Oh wow!
The
So it just
Nevada,
keeps
yeah, but the
going.
Nevada portion is crosses the center of state and was named the loneliest road in America by Life magazine in 1986.
Wow. So there's like a town called Middlegate, which is, let's see, what are we talking? How many miles east of Reno? Like, I don't know,
And they're
80, 100
saying,
miles?
yeah,
Population 17?
Reno, Nevada to Delta, Utah is considered the main route along the loneliest highway, which is 7.5 hours long.
Wow.
So that's pretty interesting.
So wouldn't that be a place that if you were doing a cross-country trip, wouldn't you be kind of fascinated to go on that road?
Yeah, they're actually saying, so Life magazine dubbed it the loneliest roads in America, claimed that there were no points of interest along the road and warned that readers not risk traveling it unless they were confident of their survival skills.
All right, so I'll take back exactly what I just said. That would be a stupid place to go.
Holy crap.
Are you confident in your survival skills?
Yeah.
Okay, but isn't it cool that there are still places like that?
Yeah.
Instead of
I'm sure
everything
there's
having a
pretty
goddamn
shit cell
Applebee's,
phone service, right?
everything's got an Applebee's, everything's got a freaking Home Depot. It's nice that there's areas that are still raw, rugged, nasty, gnarly,
This
scary.
is so remote, they probably have a Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah.
Or
Even Arby's with the old school hat as still the sign.
Or Hardee's, right? That was the one that disappeared.
Is it Hardee's?
Oh no, Roy Rogers. That was it.
There's still a few of those at rest areas in the Northeast.
At rest areas only, right? That's weird.
Weird ass reason.
Roy
So if you want to check out some different spots, this movie's definitely worth checking out, which is cool. And now, Mario, this one I was talking up.
The Last Gunners.
When we were talking about doing this episode. Yeah, The Last Gunners. This is a cool.
Yeah, I was watching part of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is from the folks at Ski Utah. You may have heard of Utah and the skiing there. It's quite good, believe it or not.
Yeah.
For 75 years, the silent hours of deep snowy mornings at Alta Ski Area were ruptured by the reverberation of heavy artillery echoing off surrounding granite crags. Since 1949, weapons of war have been an invaluable tool in combating the ever-looming threat of destructive avalanches in Little Cottonwood Canyon. Drop into the story of Alta's pioneering artillery program from infancy to its conclusion in 2023. These massive artillery pieces, recruited for a peaceful purpose, now face retirement as Alta presses ahead to the forefront of the latest technological advancements in avalanche mitigation.
Yeah, there's a lot of new technology, but it's pretty incredible. You talk to some of the ski patrol and they're like, even today, they're saying like, in areas that are hard to get to, they'll still hand drop bombs. They do sled bombs. They drop stuff from helicopter. Like they'll do every form of dropping explosives, which is pretty funny,
Yeah.
But yeah, these guns are pretty awesome to see.
It's cool seeing the old footage. These old dudes kind of using this and seeing what they've evolved into and the new technology, which is probably a little safer, a little easier to use.
Yeah,
it is cool though. And
I know they use a lot of those what is it, natural gas, and they have those tubes. They look like a little J shape coming out of the mountain.
Okay.
And what they'll do is they ignite gas and it blows out almost like blowing a charge, but it's in these fixed areas where they have constant, avalanche problems. So they fix them in there, and they can just by a push of a button, like set them off, and it just blows these areas. It's pretty impressive. Think about it.
Yeah.
A lot safer too.
Yeah, they say in the entire history of the program, over 33,000 rounds of ammunition were
Dang.
fired, protecting millions of skiers in the town of Alta. So in 2024 and beyond, Alta will continue to use remote avalanche control systems, avalaunchers. So, yeah, it's a big change.
Avalanche.
So, kind of cool to, again, get a little history and see how things have evolved, changed, grown over the years.
Yeah.
Now, another story, Dream. And this one, we talked about redemption and injuries, and Kura Koivisto, who is I believe he's a Finnish skier.
Koivisto.
So he's a park skier for Armada, and this video is kind of his story, and showing again, similar to the Kai Jones story, he had a super gnarly injury. It must have been last year, and they have the video footage, and he blew out his knee. And what I liked about it is, again, it kind of shows the nitty-gritty of him in his redemption and his return. The workout sessions he had to go through, the training, the process. And you kind of look at a lot of these, the park skiers, free ski, and there's still laid back, chill vibe. You almost think like, oh, these guys and girls are just such slackers. They really don't, not that they don't do anything or work that hard. It just doesn't. They don't exude that like different kinds of athletes do. And just to see what they have to go through after an injury like this, it's inspiring. It's motivating. It's incredible, really. And I mean, imagine that's your job. That's what you do every day, is like you are a, park free skier like this. And imagine this talks about 9 months of rehab to go back and to hit that first jump, that first feature. Like how exciting and terrified you've got to be.
That's a long road. You rehab, and the thing that's in the back of your mind is, I hope I don't hurt it worse than it was, right?
Yeah. And again, too, I mean, you're 21, 22, 23, you're that age where, everything you've done up to that point in your life, you've dedicated to the sport, and you get hurt. Like, and worst case scenario, say you injure yourself that second time coming back. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And that's a terrifying realization or thought if that's what does happen. But to see him just kind of get back on there and to get back into it, and to get injured again, to fight and to get back and to get back to where he was. Like it's so incredible. I mean, I can't imagine that mental hurdle you have to get past after an injury like that. Because again, it's not like you're an accountant who goes skiing, gets injured, and like a couple years later is like, I'm going to try this again. And you just kind of
that's your career. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that one's really cool in that regard, to check that one out. And then there's one last one. And this is a bit of I'd say an interesting pick. Not good, not
it's
bad.
Kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me of actually trips that I've taken with buddies that you're like, all right, some of this stuff actually really does happen.
This is the ultimate. We're in college. Someone either got high or had an idea like, bro, we should start making ski movies.
Exactly.
That's
the other one part where they show the guy eating. Like, it was pretty funny.
It's like, yeah, The Montana
chows.
Bandits. They have a new film called Bandits Unchained. It's their third year in a row. And they're back and better
Wow.
than ever. Better stunts, better skits, better cameras. Grab your homies, crack open some cold ones, and enjoy the greatest ski film since sliced bread. Metaphor doesn't even make sense, but I like it. Please do not try any of the stunts you're about to witness, but if you do, at least make sure the cameras are rolling. Now,
So the court
I'm not a
proceedings.
copyright.
and
I'm not a copyright lawyer, but the music, the visuals that they used here, I hope they don't get sued, and I hope one of them got like a legal degree because
They had a
I
waiver
hate being,
signed or
I
something.
hate being that old guy making that comment. You know, like I wish it wasn't something you had to worry about, but
But
they
you
use
do.
like the 20th Century Fox like music and like, whoa, this is a legit operation. Then they're like, fuck it, dude. And there's like SpongeBob and they're using like Metallica, like they're using like, you know, music that could lead one to getting sued over.
Well, you only get sued if you're using it for commercial use. You're trying to make money on it, right? If it's not making any money, then maybe not.
Well, I know
I
like
don't
when
know.
you upload something to YouTube, it does a copyright check.
Yeah, that's true.
But this apparently passed.
Yeah, they got it passed. However, they did it, right?
Yeah. But it's just like it's just bizarre. There's a naked guy on a snowmobile. There's
It is random shit going on.
like a weird Western, you know, like saloon with like playing cards and shooting. Like it's
Well, and then
There's
they
a
have
lot
a whole
going on.
section with the boat, the hunting, and he fake shoots a guy. Like it's a weird ass thing.
it's definitely
But it was
it's
interesting.
definitely weird, but it's
It's
interesting.
entertaining, right?
And yeah, you mentioned the guy with the food. He goes to like the I don't know, the food court or whatever at the resort and just eats like everything. I will tell you, I was entertained.
It was pretty entertaining. And then they did the Happy Gilmore, like the standing in the it was a softball fast pitch. And they're
Oh,
just
that's right,
standing in
batting
front of
cage?
it getting hit. Yeah, at the batting cage. It was kind of funny.
I will tell you, it's worth checking out. I like the
Kind of a
Montana
little bit of
Bandits.
Jackass, a little bit of skiing, a little bit of pretty damn good skiing, I gotta say, and boarding.
Awesome skiing boarding, awesome snowmobiling. Like it was just fun.
Yeah. They
It's
showed the one guy
definitely-
just dropping it, just straight down.
yeah.
Ah, crazy.
It seems almost like it's like a, you know, just it's so cool seeing like a bunch of guys, just buddies, in college together, just deciding to just do it.
It's a
make
bro
it happen.
movie. Yeah.
It was cool to see. Is it refined? Is it going to win some sort of like award at Cannes? No, but you know what? Who cares? They had fun doing it. It was fun to watch. So
That's right.
love the Montana Bandits. Love their little logo too. It's pretty much Clint Eastwood from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with goggles on.
Just copy everything. Yeah.
Hey, what did that weirdo Andy Warhol do?
Yeah.
There's some
It's-
tomato soup.
Just
Just copied
freaking
stuff and made it colorful.
Campbell soup can. It wasn't anything really that fancy. It was a Campbell soup can label. That's it.
And same with like other crap. The Marilyn Monroe, whatever.
Yeah. Just a print of her and that was it.
Different colors. Yeah. So if you people think that's
Craziness.
art, then this is goddamn better art.
That's right.
Good job, bandits.
Well, good luck to everybody with these videos out there. There's plenty out there, and these were all free on YouTube. They're trailers, some of them are full movies, but it's fun to look at. And if you find something that's a trailer and you want to watch it, at least you know what you're shooting for.
Yeah, we'll put the links in the show notes too, so you can check it out. And so you got something to do over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
You
After
are
turkey.
welcome. All right, well, that wraps up this show for the week. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com, especially if you want stickers.
Nice.
Posters. We got it. Hit us up. We'll hook you up.
Boom.
The socials, X, Instagram, Facebook, Untapped. We are at Ski Bum Podcast and YouTube.
It's a merch shop.
skibumpodcast.com/shop. This fresh sweatshirt, you can kind of see it. This is a legend. The hat, this is actually the back of it. Great hat. That should be on the website too. skibumpodcast.com/shop. Go to 10,000.cc. Use the code BSchneider15, 15% off. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay falutin'.
See ya.